So it's been about 2 years since I first came out with my YouTube channel videos. It's been about 2 years. It's been about freak. So it's been 2 years since my first video, and in the past 9 months, there's been a lot of controversy. There's been a lot of controversy about my hair in the past 9 months because I put in a texturizer. So I'm here to put all that to rest. So the title looks a bit confusing. It's talking about how I put a texturizer in my hair, but also how am I still natural. Just want to defend my points with these two things to shut y'all the fuck up. Point number one is every time that I go to the barbershop, I just trim the top of my head. I have a tapered fade, so the top of my head, the sides are always trimmed for the past 9 months, so I'm pretty damn sure everything is out. Second of all, new growth. The hair at my roots is very curly. If I pull my head back like I did in my last video, you guys can see that. So as you can see in this clip right here, I'm gonna be pulling my hair up. This is just to show you again at the roots, it's curly, and all throughout from root to tip it's curly. If I was to put a texturizer in, you would see where the texturized parts would be and where it wasn't. Also, if you look at a lot of YouTube tutorials, if you ask anybody that texturized look, or even if somebody gets a perm, that thing is gonna go away. For example, in this Bianca Renee S-curl tutorial, she talks about how the look only lasts for about a month, depending on your upkeep, which means, you know, daily maintenance. If you are moisturizing your hair daily, then
the texturizer, the curl activator, and the gel, and as you can see, it's way more relaxed and created this cool spiky look. And this look will last from up to 3 weeks to maybe a month depending on your upkeep, so it's best to shampoo and conditioner regularly.
So if you guys don't know already, I am mixed with Jamaican, Italian, and Trinidad. I do have a lot of curl patterns in my head. In the front it's more of a 3C 4A, but as we go to the back it's more of like a 4B. I almost want to say like a 4C because my curls get really tight. So what's my curl type? A lot of you guys been asking. I would have to say mainly 3C 4A. When I went to the Diva Curl joint, the party thing, whatever, I had asked the lady. She said that my hair was a 3C. I always thought I was a 4A, so just to be safe, I guess I'll say I'm a 3C 4A. So a lot of people, when they tell you about texturizers or anything like that, they'll usually use the term chemicals. So what are these chemicals when they say, you know, oh, you're putting chemicals in your hair? Specifically, the chemicals that they're talking about is sodium hydroxide, which is known as lye, or the alternative is a no lye relaxer, which is used for people who have sensitive scalps. So the active ingredient in those are calcium hydroxide. Even though sodium hydroxide is more commonly found in hair relaxers, this actually can be found in texturizers such as the S-curl texturizer kit. So I'm about to show you guys a clip from Chris Rock's movie Good Hair. It's a really good movie. It's a documentary about black people's hair, more specifically black women's hair, and how they put hair relaxers in their head. In this clip we're going to be seeing a professor pour pure sodium hydroxide on chicken breasts, and so I see this a lot. Basically just people just like, this is the danger of such and such, and like they'll just go overboard with it. What you have to take into account is that that's pure sodium hydroxide. What sodium hydroxide is doing to your hair, like the scientist said, it is breaking down the hair follicles and the protein and whatnot. But in order for it to like burn through your scalp and leave chemical burns and whatnot, it's gonna have to stay on there for a pretty long time. Or unless you have a very sensitive scalp, like my boy Malcolm X. no lie relaxer is probably a good choice for you. I would probably go with a no lie relaxer if you are going to use a texturizer, just in case, because that man burned his head, I think, about a good 3 times in that movie. Speaking of Malcolm X, I found this essay written in his book, The Autobiography of Malcolm X in 1964. It's titled My First Conk. That will be in the description. You guys can read that if you want to. But he's talking about conk. Conk is a hairstyle that black men had rocked back in the 60s. It was to straighten their hair and slick it back and make it look like a white man using a texturizer. He would talk about how he would go to the store, buy lye, 2 eggs and 2 potatoes, and that's how he made his hair relaxer. And Malcolm X also mentions that he used a hair relaxer for many years. I don't know how often. I believe most people put in their hair relaxer every 6 months. And looking at Malcolm X's head, he died at the age of 39, but he didn't have any like crazy bald spots or anything like that. I mean, he was, you know, going a little old, but it wasn't anything like serious. So if you guys are like worried about hair loss, I mean, Malcolm X did it for many years. That's one example. So now we learned about lye and how dangerous it is. Even in the movie Fight Club, there's this scene where Brad Pitt pours lye on Edward Norton's hand.
This is a chemical burn. You'll hurt more than you've ever been burned, and you will have a scar.
What are you doing?
Listen, you can run water over your hand to make it worse, or look at me. Or you can use vinegar to neutralize the burn.
Please let me have it, please.
We can say that pure sodium hydroxide is very, very dangerous, but if used and combined with other elements, it can actually make some pretty like everyday normal stuff like soap, Lush, you know, very natural company and whatnot. But if you go on their website, they will show you a list of products that actually contain sodium hydroxide. Dove soap, yeah, a lot of people have Dove soap. If you look at the ingredients, it's gonna say sodium palamate, sodium is it palamate? I don't know how to pronounce that, but you ever read something and you know like you just don't know how, whatever, but that's basically just sodium hydroxide mixed with palm oil. So yeah, that basically is what soap is made out of. Soap is made out of combining lye with fat to make glycerin, and then glycerin has a lot of skin health benefits that you can research online by yourself. So now we go on to how to apply a texturizer. Look, I know niggas don't like to read, but nigga, you gonna have to read the directions.
Read, nigga, read!
Or look at a YouTube tutorial, because I don't know why, but everybody keeps on asking me, you know, how to apply texturizer and whatnot. Look, there's plenty of other YouTube tutorials out there. Just do that. So this is how I applied mine. I only applied mine for 8 minutes, and this is the texturizer that I used. It was a comb through Pro Line No Lie texturizer, and I actually intentionally under processed my hair. So the recommended, it was like 15 minutes, but I only did 8 minutes. There's a term called texlaxing, and what people do is intentionally under process the hair with relaxers, so that the hair doesn't come out straight. Instead, it comes out in a more natural look. So that's what I did with the texturizer. So how to remove it. Now, if let's say that you accidentally over processed your hair and it came out too straight, the only way to actually, like, you know, have your hair come back is to cut it. A lot of girls like to do what's called transitioning. As you can see, like, the permed ends are still permed, but as the new growth comes out, that's like curly, like their natural hair is curly. So if you're a girl, you don't really have to worry that much, but if you're a guy, you don't want to look like you're transitioning. So that's going to conclude this video. I hope this cleared up a lot of confusion about my hair. So again, the texturizer should be out. Again, I can't really tell because after a month the texturized look goes away, but like I said, every time I go to the barber, every 2 weeks to a month, I get my hair trimmed. So I'm pretty damn sure that it's out. So I hope this squashes the whole am I natural sort of thing. Yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.